Men recognize racism right off the bat, but are completely blind to sexism. And the reason why is because racism is being attacked by another group of men, which men will not tolerate. But sexism is being attacked by women. And men do not want to deal with this, so they're in complete denial of it. Now, to prove my point, I'm going to show you comic book artists that had to deal with both racism and sexism, and you're going to see a 180. Now, this gentleman here, he discusses the racism involved, right? Let's see, 22. Yeah, we'll get a little further, right about here.
Comics have undergone a major facelifting.
I remember the last comic that I ever put through the code was the last science fiction. I think it was Incredible Science Fiction 33. And we sent it up, and they absolutely refused to allow the fourth story to go through. So in one of my clever little ploys, I substituted Judgment Day, which may be the finest story we ever wrote, and sent it up in replacement. And they wouldn't pass Judgment Day unless I took the beads of perspiration off the astronaut's brow. He was, as you call, a black. He had perspiration at the end of the story. When he takes off his helmet, you see he's a black. This was the whole point of the story. And I said no. I said, I'm not going to take him out. And if you persist, I am going to take you to court. I said, you are so wrong, and this is as far as I go with you guys. So I said, all right, let it go.
See, he recognized right off the bat that the editors were being racist, and he called them out. He stood on principles, right? You guys aren't going to get away with this, right? Now, we'll get into, let's see, this one here, and you're going to see that when confronted with sexism, guys are completely clueless. You see, their brains just won't register that women are being or are attacking them, right? Let's hear it from this guy.
To update Wonder Woman for 1968, writer and artist Mike Sekowsky started the process, and later journalist turned comic writer Denny O'Neil was brought in to continue Wonder Woman's transformation to 60s hit. It wasn't easy, as O'Neil found out.
You see, he'll admit that times have changed. Wonder Woman came in the early 40s. Now it's the 60s, so he has to try and switch things up to make her relevant, right? But nothing he does is going to be good enough.
When you get a job like that, implicit in it is shake it up, do something new.
DC took away Wonder Woman's costume and powers and had her learn karate. It was hoped that a more realistic Wonder Woman would be embraced by the new Woman's Lib movement. But
yeah. Notice she's still a heroine. She's still kicking ass. She's still fighting the bad guys. Not good enough.
Feminist leaders like Gloria Steinem, who'd grown up with the original version, hated the changes.
Gloria Steinem didn't grow up with these. She never read these comics. No matter what people say, comics are by men, for men, and boys. Boys read the comics for one reason. The superhero is about fighting the bad guy, gaining status, and therefore being loved by society. And when the guy gets older, when you're not a boy, it's getting the girl. Women's stories don't have this because they don't need it. They're going to be accepted by society, and they're going to get the guy. Right. The only reason women have joined up now is because comic books gained status.
They said that I had taken the only powerful woman in comics and had taken her power away from her. It is now many years later, and I absolutely see what they were talking about.
See, guys? No, the first man was like, you guys aren't getting away with this. I'm done with you guys. What's this guy? When women are attacking, I understand, I completely understand ladies, right? Just guys just will do anything. He completely gave up. He had no ability or desire to defend himself as a man. If they wanted to do Wonder Woman, why didn't they come in? They did, of course, nowadays, and of course, they show their true colors. Now, I'm going to show a repeat of this guy because I want to show you there's a little extra, but I want to show you something else. He shows up in this 3 parts. I want to show you something about these 3 parts. Part number 1. The comments are turned on. Part number 3. The comments are turned on. Part number 2, where they discuss feminism. The comments are turned off. Remember, it's men's voices that are silenced. It's men that are oppressed. They didn't want anyone coming in and correcting these people. So I had to put it right in here, the thumbnail, or not the thumbnail, but the timestamp. So let's go over here, 40:55, right? Now, I know I'm repeating myself a bit here, but it's important. 40:55. Let's get it over here. Oh yeah, it's almost there anyway. Right here.
I'm an alien. I don't even know if I can answer that.
But your skin is the right color.
They were doing it even back then, having a black woman attack a white guy, right?
Though DC Comics superhero stories were earnestly grappling with topical issues, the all-male writing staff was ill-prepared to handle the rise of a popular new movement in the 1970s.
Yeah, they're all male writers because the men wanted to do it. If the women were interested, they'd do it. They're not. And girls don't read it. Guys mainly read Wonder Woman. Little boys, right? Along with Superman.
We talk about equal opportunities and employment, we mean to have it now.
We just want what men have had all these years. But we don't want the bad things that they took with them, like male chauvinism.
Or the stress, or the working hours, or the death. Again, a hate movement can never say anything but lies. Because its whole premise is a lie.
I was a blue-collar, lower-middle-class Irish kid from North St. Louis, and I believed in pacifism, in racial equality, and along came feminism, and I thought I ought to believe in this.
Really? So you believe in things that are good, and so you figure you ought to believe in this hate movement. Why? Because the hate movement is, basically all women. It's an all-female group. That's why. Again, guys hate racism because they are being attacked by men. They're actually for sexism because they're being attacked by women.
But emotionally, I was 5 years away from accepting and understanding feminism.
Really? Notice he said emotionally and not mentally, not logically, right? He doesn't explain why, right? Of course, he gives into his own, the propaganda against him and says, well, I just was against equality somehow, even though I admitted I was for equality earlier, right?
Denny O'Neil took over the writing reins of Wonder Woman and stripped the Princess Diana of all her powers and turned her into a street-level woman.
Now, this guy strikes me as gay. Nothing against gay men other than the fact that they tend to be misandrist. When you listen to this guy talk, you can tell he's one of those guys who joined the LGBT and is taking his marching orders from straight women. Straight women use this guy as a puppy dog or a purse, and he loves doing it. Men worship women. That includes gay men.
Basically, someone who dressed in really hot cat suits, went around the world fighting international crime, drug cartels.
Now, I actually didn't like this myself. I wanted Wonder Woman to remain superhuman, right?
Folks like Gloria Steinem and other feminists believed that by stripping Wonder Woman of her power, you literally stripped her of her ability to be a physical peer to Superman.
There it is there, guys. Batman is not a physical peer to Superman. She would be equivalent to like Batman or Iron Fist. So she is equivalent, but what the feminists were saying is that whoever is the top dog, that's where I want my girl at.
Almost exclusively until the past couple of years, Wonder Woman has been written by and drawn by men.
Yeah, see how this is drawn by man. You know, this guy has contempt for his fellow man. You disgust me, dude. And of course, again, it was written by them. The striving, the hero's journey is a male journey. Women don't take it. They don't have to, and that's why they're not interested in it. And that's why men write it. And this guy knows better.
And Wonder Woman is a classic exercise, I think, in watching how men, through the decades, are trying to handle the ideas of women and equality through this character.
They do handle it because these men are about equality. The desire for equality is a male desire, not a female desire, a male desire. And that's why when Wonder Woman is written well, she's written by a man. Only a man knows how a woman should behave.
I wish that I could say that superheroines have changed and in a way that reflects the woman's movement, but I don't think they really have. I think there's been...
Yes, they have. I'm going to show you that they have. She was just speaking before it has happened, right? The feminist hate movement has taken over, and I'll prove it.
Lip service, a lot of lip service given to strong women, but they're not. I mean...
No, Wonder Woman did kick ass. She did fight the villain. She did win. So this woman's a liar. Again, feminists are liars. A hate movement can only tell lies.
They're still sex objects for the most part.
I certainly...
Yeah, like Superman isn't for the girls, right? Now, I'll show you exactly how the feminists behave when they get in charge. All right, Spider-Man wants to date She-Hulk. Now, look at this panel. Look at the goofy ass position Spider-Man's in. I remember a comic book artist who used to write Spider-Man. He said, I never draw him on the ground. I want him dynamic. He's either hanging by a thread or he's clinging to a wall, right? Now, here he wants to date She-Hulk. How is this a superhero story, for one thing? It's a dating story. What I tell you, when women get a hold of something, they either bash the men or they make it about dating, right? They make it into a soap opera. But of course, you see She-Hulk standing nice and firm and Spider-Man startled, right? What happened, Spider-Man? Your spider sense didn't get off? Give off? Now, here's the other one. So I wrote down again. So Spider-Man, he's hitting on the She-Hulk, and she's looking at him with complete contempt. The She-Hulk is a B-list character, maybe even C-list. She was never able to hold her own in a comic. Spider-Man is grade A, right? So here they are, so they're taking a grade A hero and bringing him down, right? Now here's more of it. Look at this one. Spider-Man wants to date She-Hulk, and he shows up and he's got some ridiculous costume, some headdress on. It's to mock him. It's to degrade him. Because the female heroes, hey, let's face it, they're never going to reach, male epicness. Because again, they don't have to succeed in life to get by. So that woman, she was just wrong. She didn't know that she was wrong, but she's wrong because, hey, the hate movement got in charge and they've shown their true colors. This panel says everything about what feminists think about men, right? And this is what happens when they get a hold of anything beloved by men. So I'm just going to end off repeating that guys, they recognize racism right away because, again, they recognize it's an attack by men. But boy, the women show up, these guys can't figure it out. I love women, so women therefore must love me. That's how men think. They're in complete denial of women's hatred and contempt. Anyway, I've made my point.